We've all questioned who is the real villain in the 500 Days of Summer. And if you haven't, congratulations, you're young. The rest of us have wisdom, so don't get too cocky. Was Tom just an innocent guy who believed in true love and the one, but got caught up with a narcissist who used him and spit him out just for her own fun? Or was Summer the one who was very transparent and honest with what she believes, what she can give in a relationship, not give, but Tom just never really wanted to accept her? He just projected his own ideas in hopes that she will change her mind. Now, your views might have changed based on your life experience. Maybe in the past you were like, oh, poor Tom. And today you're like, Tom needs to reevaluate. But if you want to go through that journey again, to remember, to evaluate, analyze the scenes again, and try to figure out what were certain behaviors that were driving the actions and what it could tell about our attitude towards love, then buckle up. So you know how we do it here. Maybe you're new here. So hi, I'm V. We narrate, we analyze, and we often judge. And we do believe that we know better and would do better. Hopefully. So Summer and Tom decided to be just friends.
I think you're interesting, and I'd like for us to be friends.
Yeah, you and me, we should be friends.
Okay.
Despite there being certain flirtations, certain kisses exchanged, at the end of the day, it's pretty clear. Summer does not believe in love. She finds relationships messy and people get hurt, so she does not want to deal with it. And at the end of the day,
Who needs it? We're young. We live in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Might as well have fun while we can and save the serious stuff for later.
Tom, on the other hand, is in a little bit more of a pickle. You see, he made the dreadful mistake of deciding the first time he saw her that she's the one, that she's the girl of his dreams. So, friends, okay, let's be friends. It's cool. And I'll just patiently wait for you to change your mind because sooner or later, you'll see what I see. We are meant to be. Now, if you are interested in all the initial interactions, what was driving this infatuation from Tom and how he was like, she's perfect, she's a scam, she's perfect, she's a I went through all of that in my first video and I'll link it below. But today, we're gonna go straight into the aftermath. They're actually at IKEA and they're having a lot of fun.
Smells delicious.
Oh, honey, that's because it is delicious. I made it myself.
Bald eagle.
Your favorite.
They are kind of playing the roles, matching the energies, and overall, one might say, and especially Tom might say, they're acting like girlfriend and boyfriend. They even lie on one of the beds and they share a kiss. But Summer wants to make sure that they are clear about the expectations going into this. She wants to make sure that Tom knows she's not looking for anything serious. And she also asks him if it is okay.
Because some people kind of freak out when they hear that.
Not me.
Summer, Miss Summery. Of course, Tom is okay with it. Tom is cool like that. Cash is his thing. Spoiler, Cash is not Tom's thing.
Yeah, like casual. Right? Take it slow.
No pressure.
And this is where we crash and burn. The fact that Tom already decided that Summer is the one, this is clearly him almost just waiting it out, right? Yes, sure, she says that we're just friends, but she was holding my hand, she's kissing me. The little girl is confused, and I'm gonna show her the way. I think it's very unlikely that someone will actually change their mind from casual to a serious relationship when they start the casual thing by making sure they don't want anything serious. Even if this person wanted something serious, eventually, the fact that they share that with you at the beginning, maybe they just don't want it with you. Huh? Like, I don't see a scenario, or maybe I'm very, black and white. I have my own perspective, so let me know in the comments below. But I think it's very challenging that you will meet someone who will express clearly they don't want anything serious. You're gonna stick around, and then eventually they're gonna, suddenly, oh yeah, now I want it. First of all, if that happens, I would think that it is because time, okay? If we think about Carrie and Mr. Big, was she the one who was just left at the end? If you've been together for so long, then maybe it's just like, okay, let's just do this. But I think there's a higher probability that this person is just gonna dip out one day and you're gonna be left there alone. Now, don't get me wrong. I said I doubt it, but it's not impossible. The thing that is problematic is that, in a way, the ball is in their court. It's about when will they feel ready while you are waiting there. You're put in a waiting room. They call you in when they have time, when they want to. But if they're not feeling it, then you know what? You go back to the waiting room and I'll fetch you when I need it. If you yourself actually want something serious and you don't really want a casual thing, don't convince yourself that you do. You might be just losing opportunity to meet someone who is actually on your timeline. But let's say that you agree to be casual because you know what? Yes, I want to have fun. I don't want to have any pressure. I want to try this new way, right? I would highly advise to try it with someone who you didn't already decide that they are the one. You can't say, oh, this person is the one, and also, it's good if we're cash. Clearly, it's not good that you're cash. Cash means that you're kind of, yes or no. But you're already yes. Take some responsibility agreeing to be friends when clearly you are way past the friendship, okay? Tom is way past seeing Summer as a fling. He's in it. He's just waiting for her to catch on. But let's touch a little bit on Summer. Summer is not a dum-dum, okay? Summer recognized that Tom is kind of into her. He seeks her out. She found out that he was kind of obsessed with her for 2 weeks since he met her, and he was almost stalking her.
Yeah, I'm stalking. I'm starving.
And she also knows that Tom is someone who very much believes in love.
There's no such thing as love, it's fantasy.
Well, I think you're wrong.
Is there no level of responsibility on her side to maybe not get into a casual thing with someone who is clearly not casual about you? And enter the wishful thinking, okay? Enter the what we all want people to be like. We all want people to be mature, do the right thing, recognize. In this case, Summer should kind of help Tom not get this idea by even cutting him off and yada. But I'm saying wishful thinking because that implies that we're expecting people to just not have their own things and beliefs that are driving them. Despite not wanting anything serious, who says she does not like attention? Who says that she doesn't like to be admired and feel like she's something to someone? And she is kind of protecting herself by expressing what are her limits. So despite us wanting that someone would take some kind of responsibility, getting into something with someone who wants more than what she can give, at the end of the day, as much as it sucks, it is Tom's responsibility. Tom is the one who wants something more, so Tom has that control of getting into it with Summer or not. She's just laying the cards out. Usually you find the pairings of casual with someone who is attached, forming the very well-known and intoxicating dynamics of, anxious and avoidant attachment style. The avoidant is like, no, I don't want anything, but I love how you want me. And the anxious is like, okay, you don't want me? Okay, I'll show you how good I am so you will eventually want me. Raise your hand if you ever experienced that. Now, Tom brings Summer back to his place. And you know what that means. Sure, cash.
Okay, settle. She's the girl. She wants to keep it casual. Which is why she's in my bed right now. But that's casual. That's what casual people do.
The delusion of this woman. Don't you worry, Summer is Summer. He's gonna show you the way.
Hi.
Hi.
There's also clear mismatch here. For Tom, being intimate means something. That's a milestone in a relationship. You don't just go in bed with someone. And the fact that Summer is there now, it's clear that she wants something more. This can't be just physical. Because maybe on some level, there is no way a woman can be with someone just because she wants to be with someone. So he's like, la 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 la, I didn't hear anything that she said, so I am just gonna observe this. By the way, we often say, like, words should match the action type of thing. And if someone is saying something but doing something totally opposite, maybe take that in consideration. The problem here when it comes to Tom is it's not that Summer is saying something but doing something else. It's about Tom's interpretation of that. For Tom, intimacy means something. So that logic doesn't apply here. One might say that Tom himself is not experienced in the cash department of love. Because clearly for him, casual means just take it slow, with no pressure. Tom was not with the trends, okay? And being together now plays even more into this. Tom is the happiest man alive. He is finally with the one. His true love. They did it. Cash, what's that? I don't hear it. Tra-la-la-la-la. Everything is peachy perfect. The birds are singing. The sun is shining. The rainbow is trying to get... No, we need rain for that. He's walking down the street, happy, with a smile. People are dancing with him. They do a flash mob. It is magical. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how things go when you meet the one. If you never crossed a street and suddenly start dancing with people, are you really with the right person? Think about it. We get to, let's say, 3-month mark and things are just perfection. Tom is the happiest and he finds Summer perfect. They're even going into the stages where they have shower sex, trying different poses because that's what porn said it's gonna be good.
You know what? That looks pretty doable.
It's getting deeper and Tom even shares with Summer his favorite place.
This is your favorite spot?
Right here.
They sit on the bench and they're overlooking a part of the city. And he shares with her even more about his passion for architecture. And he even talks about how he would design this certain part of the city to make it better.
You want me to draw you something?
Yeah.
I don't have any paper.
Well, use my arm.
They share this moment and it's like there's this deeper connection between the two of them. Now, we don't really get to know anything about Summer because this whole movie is from Tom's perspective, okay? So right now, we see that Tom himself is looking at the situationship between the two of them as a true progression of a real relationship, right? They meet, they have so many things in common, they like spending time together, they are intimate, he shares with her his, passions and he's vulnerable with her. So for him, this is just a natural progression of a relationship. What we also don't know is the actual time progression in this case. So the movie is done showing you sequences of days and then alternating between when things go to hell or when things are good. But I'm narrating it in order, right? But even narrating it in order, there is a difference between the initial stages where we almost get an update 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And once they start this casual thing, we don't really know if what they're showing us is just the milestones of their progression and they're actually spending more time together, or if this is actually the only time that they are spending together. But that impacts the perception. Because if you're telling me that in 3 months you saw each other like 3 to 4 times, doesn't matter what you did on those dates, it is a casual thing, okay? It's not a progression of a relationship. If these are the only days that they are spending together, then we can see how Tom is seeing this as something more than it actually is. He's seeing these events or spending time together as milestones of a relationship, while in reality, he neglects that in 3 months you saw each other 3 times. The fact that we know that this is from Tom's perspective it's not so far-fetched that he's making it more than it actually is. Now, if these are just milestones, so they are actually spending a lot of time together, but the movie is just updating it with big things, then the question becomes, what is casual for Summer? I would expect that casual does not mean I get all the benefits of the relationship and I'm progressing it in that way, but if things get hard, if things get messy, I do want to have the, the card to tap out. I'm like, yellow. No, I have no idea. I don't watch football or soccer. If that's what she's doing, then that's very selfish, okay? Then that does lean into, despite her being very honest and upfront of what she wants and doesn't want, it is a little bit shady if you are then progressing the relationship with this person as though you are not casual about this, okay? But let me know in the comments below, which one do you think it is? Do you think that they were actually spending all that time together and progressing the relationship like that? Or was this just how Tom interpreted it? The harsh reality, though, is that this might just not really matter. Look, if I was in this situation and I agreed to something casual with someone, and then suddenly, like, this person is hitting me up all day, every weekend we'd spend together, and it's like, boy, you are benefiting a relationship type without the commitment, I would have a checkup. I would be like, where's your head at, right? Is this still casual? Or because this feels a little bit too much investment for me, and I don't want to invest in something that you don't see going anywhere. I would not ask it if I just don't want to know it. If I'm just like, you know what, let's just keep this going. He doesn't even see it, how good I am, and he's just falling in love with me. Yes, he wanted cash, but look at him. So maybe despite Summer playing into it and it sucks, at the end of the day, it is Tom's responsibility to take care of himself, especially if he does want something more. Then again, Tom can also just blind himself because this is a true love story and love will conquer everything, so he's just waiting it out. For now, though, it seems that Tom is happy how things are progressing. And oh, baby, there is another milestone on the horizon. He gets to see Summer's apartment.
It's kind of messy.
That's okay.
And according to him, well, this must be special. This is her safe space. This is her sanctuary. This is where she is vulnerable. And he got an inside look. He is actually there.
And here was Summer, wanting him there. Him, no one else.
This has to mean something. Maybe those walls of distance, of being closed off, are tumbling down.
That wall was slowly coming down.
The walls of casual are breaking down. And it doesn't even start there because Summer opens up to him. She actually shares something quite vulnerable.
I'm floating, and it's like this amazing, amazing feeling.
Incredible.
I'm free, I'm safe. But then I realize I'm completely alone. And then I wake up.
And as Tom is lying next to her, looking at her, he cannot help but think if this is something special.
He could feel the wall coming down. He wondered if anyone else had made it this far.
And just like that, Summer confirms.
I've never told anybody that before.
He knew it. It's him.
I guess I'm not just anybody.
Oh, for the love of God. I'm so in love with this person and she is all that and so perfect. But the thing that is actually perfect is how good I am. How I'm the only one who can see her deeply. How I am the only one who she opens to and gets to be this close. That's what's actually perfect about her. That she chose me. Moi. Me. Mene. You are vulnerable with someone and all they think about is, oh my God, am I that special? The content of what Summer is saying is like, shoop, going overhead. Well, people, when the true love is about you and not the two of you, now. This is what happens. He or she is perfect because how valuable you feel around them. I think we established, especially in the first video, that Tom is in love with the fact that he is the one that can get her, Summer. Because he already thought that she's out of his league. She's so cool. She's so pretty, and pretty girls never pay attention to a guy like him.
Why is it pretty girls think they can treat people like crap and get away with it? You know what? Screw her. I don't care.
There is this sense of what is he benefiting from Summer even paying attention to him, rather than who Summer actually is. Here's the thing though. I'm not saying that Tom is an evil person, a mastermind who has this blueprint and is trying to capture Summer. No, I think that this is like sometimes we do things because we are driven by certain beliefs and we're not even recognizing that those beliefs are, feeding into our own selfishness, especially in relationships. When in this case, Tom is so preoccupied with his sense of insecurity and feeling good enough and the belief that the one will save him or he will save her and this will make his life happy, that he doesn't even clock it that he's very self-centered in this whole story. Because it's so fueled by how can I make myself feel good enough? And I'm going to give everything to this person. I'm going to be the nicest to this person. I'm going to love them. But he fails to see that he does not really accept them or accept Summer or really try to get to know Summer. It's all about him, what he gets from it. Like I said, in this whole plot or storyline, even though he's the main protagonist, right? And we are seeing his perspective is very self-centered. He never has thoughts about who Summer is, what did she share with him, and what kind of person that makes her. No, it's all about how he's special because of it. I would even go further and say that sometimes it's normal that, again, if you're struggling and dealing with feeling good enough, which is not necessarily always bad, and oh my God, you need to fix yourself. It can be just natural thing, maybe a human tendency to want to be needed or belonging, the basic needs that we have. But I think it would be beneficial that if we get those feelings, that we also kind of, we accept it. We say, yeah, this does make me feel good. It makes me feel good that this person opened up to me. It gives me a certain reassurance and validation, but also I genuinely want to understand them. I genuinely want to understand how the two of us work together. I think that's something that maybe sometimes slips through the cracks and, then we get caught up in things like, pursuing someone who clearly is not for us, but somehow we imagine that this is it and it makes us feel good and it gives us this validation that we forget the part of, okay, but who actually is this person? Now, because Tom is gushing left and right about Summer and how everything is progressing the way it is supposed to progress, his friends want to know, what are they?
What, like, are we going steady? Come on, guys, we're adults. We know how we feel. We don't need to put labels on it. I mean, boyfriend, girlfriend, man, all that stuff it's really juvenile.
Wrong. Let me get you in on a secret, okay? It's a little thing that usually when you turn 30 plus, you kind of, or also based on experiences, it's not necessarily the age, but it's, the actual adult club, let's say. Yeah. Adults do labels. Every adult I met, and me thinking I'm an adult, I most definitely do labels. I'm not someone who doesn't do labels because that's not cool. The fuck? No. People who are a little bit immature, people who don't really know how to express themselves, those are the people who don't do labels. I actually have a theory, and probably it's not my theory, but I fall into that group of people. I truly believe that the no label thing was invented by people who just did not want to deal with the responsibility and the accountability of connecting with someone. Okay? Because here's the thing. Casual is also a label, isn't it? Exclusive is a label. When I say label, I'm not referring to, we need to say we are boyfriend and girlfriend. For me, a label is we are exclusive. We are committed to this. Of course, things might not work out. We still need to figure shit out. But a label is, are we getting into this with each other, committed, exclusive, or are we also dating other people? Are we casual? Those are all labels. Not label, it's just a fancy way or a cool way to say, I don't want to deal with actual responsibility of what this means. Okay? It's just, no. Mm-mm. And that to me is just bullshit, immature, and I genuinely hope that we are over that. Put labels on it, okay? Label it, okay? Stick it up. Buy that thing and put on your forehead. Label. I hate to break it to you, but saying in the same sentence, adults and no labels, you've been bamboozled, okay? You've been played, mother effer. But maybe Tom is just in those circles, right? No labels, it's cool, and so on.
You sound gay.
You really do.
And no, wrong. Because his friends are also like, that's total bullshit. But Tom knows how to preserve his fantasy and his narrative. What do the two of them know? One of them has never been in a relationship, and the other one has been in a relationship since his high school or college years. So,
I don't think the two of you are exactly authorities on modern relationships.
but only 10 days later, people, and Tom is freaking out.
So what should I do?
You should ask her.
Clearly, you want to ask Summer, what are the two of you? You're just afraid that she's gonna break your fantasy, and now you're being all anxious about it. But that's risky, you know? Things are going so good, and once you put a label on it, that's when things go south. And he does not want to go that road, right?
Why rock the boat?
Rock it. Rock the boat. Swing the boat. What our Tom fails to see, though, is that he already has the answer. How many times do I say no clarity is clarity enough? Now, his answer is a little bit different, right? Because the fact that you fear asking means that you are already not feeling equal in this relationship or situationship. If he believes that this is his person, that she is the one, how can he also believe that he will get rejected if he asks her about it? If he tries to put a label on it? Clearly, you already feel inferior to this person in some way. So him thinking that he is almost like postponing this thing of being hit if he's not good enough or good enough, it's actually already happening.
Thinking, I mean, things are going well. You start putting labels on it, that's like the kiss of death. It's like saying, I love you.
In some twisted way, him not wanting to address it, it makes him feel that he also has some say in this. He also has some control. When in reality, he controls jack shit. The fear doesn't disappear. It just lingers underneath, and then it grows until one day you just flip. And you're like, what the F are we doing? And despite Tom trying to be all smart with his little sister that, labels are not that good, he is not feeling the best. And when he spends time with Summer, she can sense it. She knows that something is off. And Tom does the right thing. He asks her, what are they?
What are we like? What's going on here with us?
I don't know. Who cares? I'm happy. Aren't you happy?
Yeah.
Good.
And he got no answer. No answer. Answer? Which one is it? Yes, it was an answer. An answer is, listen, I feel good. Yes, you might have doubts, but I don't really want to address it because if I feel good and I'm happy, why do you need to now interrupt this? There's your answer. This is where Summer also kind of shows her, let's say, colors or her ways. She is focused on herself, right? We know that what she doesn't like in relationships is the messiness. When people get hurt. So she just wants to live in her bubble, right? In her la-la land. She's happy, this is good, so let's just keep it at that. She is avoiding accepting that there is someone next to her who actually wants clarity, who actually does not feel that good and is expressing it. And this is where Summer herself is very selfish. If someone says, we are happy, so let's just keep it that way, the question becomes, okay, but what if something happens and we're not happy? Are we committed to actually work on it, or is that just the end? What happens if I do one day something that you don't really like and it makes you unhappy? Does that mean that you're just gonna walk away? Yes, let's just be happy, and if we are happy, why do we need to disturb it? But do you know the pressure that it puts on the other person? In this case, Tom might even more feel like he needs to make sure that Summer is happy because that's what's giving him reassurance. Here's the thing. Tom agrees with her because That's what Tom is after. He's after the reassurance that he is good enough, that she's not going to leave him. So knowing that Summer is happy makes him feel that he's doing good. He's doing the right things, and yeah, that's everything that matters. But he fails to see that he's also putting himself in a position that he's always going to be in the, almost on the lookout. Oh my God, what if I do something that makes her unhappy? Then what? Then this is doomed. It would be so good and so mature and responsible if Summer in this very moment would say, yeah, I'm good, I'm happy, but why do you feel like you need more clarity? What are your doubts? Or what are your expectations and you're missing? And that will allow the conversation. But Mary, my dear Mary, who says that Summer is more mature than Tom is just because she expressed what she wants and she doesn't want? She's also avoiding when someone calls her out on, yeah, but I want clarity. Then she dismisses it. Clearly, she's not mature. She's just creating her own bubble. The same way Tom is creating his own bubble, she is the one, but she doesn't know it yet, and I'm going to restore her faith in love. She is creating her bubble. If I say that I don't want anything serious, we can actually have fun and the relationship doesn't have to turn messy. And that's her bubble. So just ignore if he has doubts because that's going to interfere with the fun of this. At the end of the day, Summer does not owe commitment to Tom. But this is just basic decency and respect. Yes, you have doubts. Let's talk about it. Tom, on the other way, like I said, this is just his way of almost, putting his fear a little bit at bay. It's like this instant satisfaction, instant reassurance. Oh, she's happy. Why am I making it a big deal? Like, why do I need more when if we're happy, it's good. Everything is going to be good. We could even say that both are kind of driven by these internalized beliefs. So for Tom is the true love and for Summer is the need for independence. And instead of like finding the middle ground, they're just using those beliefs to fuel their own individual stance that allows them to stay in this situation, even though there's so many things that they should actually address. Both of them are even almost like preserving the sense of possibilities and freedom, right? For Tom is the possibility that this will actually fulfill his fantasy and she is the one. And for Summer, she has this relationship, but without the commitment, she can still feel that she's independent. Now, it's been around 5 months since Tom first met Summer, and he is, it's official.
I'm in love with Summer.
This woman is perfection. He loves everything about her. Her smile, her knees.
Heart-shaped birthmark she has on her neck.
And he loves how she makes him feel. Like
anything's possible. Like, I don't know, like life is worth it.
His friends is doubtful.
This is not good.
Even his job feels like best thing ever. He is on fire. He is performing. The employee of the month.
Have you tried Mary?
Mary!
That's the thing, people. When Tom is in love, life is in love. Everything fits into place and it fits perfectly with his belief. You can never truly be happy until you meet the one. And, well, he has met her. So clearly everything is going well.
How about I love us?
And overall, we also see the two of them vibing well together. They're at the movies, watching fun stuff, laughing, just having a good time. But the 8-month mark comes around and, well, the vibe ain't vibing that much. They're at the bar and Tom is giving his 2 cents on how ridiculous some women dress. And it's not just some women, it's the whole fashion.
London, 1964. Those girls knew how to dress. Nowadays, it's all these giant sunglasses, tattoos, handbags with little dogs in them. Like, who okayed this?
Some people like it.
Yeah, Summer is not the happiest. And I guess Tom forgot the memo that Summer is very much about equality. And she is very, very much about women's independence. So a man criticizing how women are dressing and how they should or shouldn't dress is, not her cup of tea. So she's a bit, honestly, she's not confronting him, but she just shuts down. She's avoidant. She doesn't say anything. She's just quiet, looking at her drink. And that's again something that we kind of see with Summer. She is not confrontational. She's just avoiding. But she has nothing to worry about because you know what? Tom likes how she dresses, okay? So
I like how you dress.
I was thinking about getting a butterfly tattoo about yay big on my ankle.
No.
luckily Summer is joking. Luckily, I guess. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a representation of what happens when a man falls for what you represent to him. The innocence, the modesty, that how he is something in your life and he is your savior and your hero, and not for who you actually are. Because, well, for Tom, God forbid that Summer wouldn't be the perfection he envisioned her to be. And here's the thing, Summer is the best in his eyes and he will treat her right until she steps out of that vision. Then his true beliefs about women will come out, right? Even bitching about how they dress or not dress. It's starting to look like Tom is seeing Summer as his possession. The fact that she would want a tattoo, no, because that's his body, okay? And he does not find that appropriate. But if you think that's not enough, well, a guy approaches Miss Summer. And he's kind of hitting on her. And he is a prick, okay?
You're serious? This guy?
Like, body.
You know what? Don't be rude. I'm flattered, but I'm not interested. So why don't you go over there and leave us alone? Thanks.
Can't believe this is your boyfriend.
What are you doing?
But as much as Tom is excited about it and feels like he did a milestone in his own life and in this love story, Summer is not happy. She cannot believe that he actually did it. And she's kind of calling him out because when Tom is like, oh, I did this for you, she's like, really, Tom, was it for me? And honestly, I agree with Summer. I'm like, that was not for her. She tells him that she was handling it well and he didn't have to do that.
Okay, well, next time, don't, because I don't need your help.
And here's the thing, maybe you're someone who actually appreciates that and would be like, yeah, my man. But Summer is not that. Summer is very clear about her expectations. She believes in independence, and Tom acting like that, like protecting her, it's not her vibe. I mean, value, her belief, something that she actually wants. The last thing she needs is a guy to play a hero because his feelings got hurt when in reality, she was the one affected by the situation and she was handling it. Also, she kind of wants to call it a day. She wants to just, go to bed and they're gonna talk next time.
Can we talk about this tomorrow?
Summer is clearly avoidant. We already know that, right? She stays away from labels and wants things casual but acts in a relationship potentially kind of way because she doesn't really want to face the messy parts of commitment and a relationship. But there is another side now that we are seeing. The very fear she had about relationship, which is losing independence and things getting messy and hurt, is actually what's happening. The very fear of not being seen as equal is also happening because Tom is acting or is showing her, one might say, a little bit misogynistic ways, right? He's gonna punch a guy to protect her, or he's gonna trash how women dress, but she dresses well, or he's gonna tell her not to get a tattoo. So on some level, she might be realizing in this very moment that, damn, even though I wanted this to be casual, at the end of the day, I ended up with a guy that fed exactly into the fears that I didn't want to happen. losing my independence because I am with someone. And in this case, someone treating me like I'm their possession. And that's maybe the challenge that Summer actually has to deal with or address. It's not about that she will lose independence if she gets into a relationship and she doesn't want to deal with messiness and hurt and blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's the pure fact of what kind of people is she choosing to get into a relationship. I mean, did we see it in the first video? She liked that Tom was obsessed with her. She liked that he was almost stalking her. She liked that he's all about love and he sees her as the one. She liked all of those things. She decided to go casual with this type of guy, almost like choosing the very guy that will probably treat her as, his possession, or his the one, or how she can fulfill his life and his dreams. And that's what maybe she needs to kind of clock. Maybe it's not the love. Maybe it's not the relationship. Maybe it's also which people I choose. And I guess I tend to choose people who put me on a pedestal because that makes me feel safe and it makes me feel like I can be in control and preserve the independence. Does that make sense? It's making dollar. Man, I need to be more cool. We could even say that both our lovebirds, Tom and Summer, are entering this with or need to realize that the problem is not love or not love. The problem is who they are as people and how they approach love and what type of people do they choose to be in this love together. For example, if Summer would not just by default think that love doesn't exist, then she would maybe pay more attention. Who is she actually allowing that close? Who she's actually developing this romantic connection? Then she would actually think about, no, I want this because I believe in it and I want it to be good. And on the other hand, Tom, if he wouldn't have this romanticized, idealized version of love, then he would be actually more open to get to know the person beyond what he decides her to be. He would actually want to see, okay, who is actually this person and are we actually good together? Are we going to be committed to do this together? But this very incident, people, this makes Tom lose it.
No, you know what? I'm not going anywhere till you tell me what's going on.
And Summer tries to tell him, she's like, nothing is going on. And he's like, Bess, you are not gonna pull that shit on me.
No, don't pull that with me. Don't even try to. This is not how you treat your friend.
People don't kiss, hold each other hands, have shower sex, and they're just friends. And even though she does not want a relationship, he also has a say in it.
I like you, Tom. I just don't want to release.
Well, you're not the only one that gets a say in this. I do too. And I say we're a couple. God damn it.
And yes, Destiny Child tells us to lose control, but in this case, he lost it a bit too far. That's how you get exclusivity, people. Okay? If you thought that it's about a conversation and agreement, you've been wrong. Just flip, demand it, and voila. You got it. The harsh reality is that, he doesn't have it. He does not have a say in this. He cannot force someone to be in a relationship with him because he thinks they should be and because they're acting this way. No. What he can do is only show up for himself, express his wishes, and then that person can agree or disagree. And then again, it's his decision how he wants to continue. But he does not have a say in this. As much as he wants to believe that he does because they develop something. No, she still has her own autonomy to decide what she wants. But honestly, that was the whole vibe from the get-go when it comes to Tom. He never actually respected her autonomy, her desires, her needs. Like it was all about how he sees her, what he expects, and how he will feel about it, or how it will make him feel. And also in this very moment, he's literally showing his true colors. It has nothing to do with her. It has to do with what he wants and what he will get. Period. In a way, it makes you think, is this a true love, pursue and believe in true love? In Tom's case, all about just his own, fulfilling his own needs and possessions and to get what he wants. And he believes that if he is this guy who believes in love and the one and blah, 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 then he is entitled to get shit. Rather than him actually believing in love. Something to think about. So he goes home, but we actually see him tossing and turning in bed, and he cannot sleep. He feels maybe bad about the whole situation. He even contemplates if he should call Summer, but then he decides not to. And interestingly enough, we see Summer on the other side kind of doing the same thing. She's staring at the phone, almost like waiting for Tom to call her. But she decides to go to his place. She knocks on his door and she is soaked wet from rain, and she wants to apologize.
I shouldn't have done that.
It was not okay how she got mad at him. And Tom says it's okay. And he is also okay if they don't put any labels on it. But he does want some reassurance and consistency.
You need to know that you're not going to wake up in the morning and feel differently.
I can't give you that. Nobody can.
Now, let's dissect this part, shall we? Because this was very interesting to me. So the first thing is that, okay, we talked about how Summer from the get-go was very clear about boundaries. She does not want to have commitment. I mean, but yeah, was she clear about boundaries, or she just stated that she doesn't want a commitment? But okay, so she does not want commitment. She does not want a relationship, but she does enjoy his company. She likes him, and she can have romantic feelings for someone, even though she does not want the whole part of it, right? The whole package of it. And there is a side of her that feels bad that she flipped like that on Tom, and a side of her that maybe does not want this to end, right? She likes his company. She likes getting close to him. And that could be this one side, right? She's genuinely feeling bad, but at the same time, she still makes it clear that she cannot give Tom what he wants. Reassurance and consistency that one day she won't just wake up and leave him. Now, this is where I think it becomes manipulative. Now, we can say that Summer is preserving and protecting herself. She has certain beliefs and she does not want to experience hurt and messiness of the relationship. But because she does crave attention and closeness, she, in my personal opinion, by saying nobody can, which in hindsight is the right thing, right? No one can actually give you reassurance. And you might feel like, yeah, that makes sense. If you really think about it, nobody can give you reassurance that one day things won't end, but they can give you reassurance that they will try their best to work on it together with you, but there is a possibility, obviously, that things won't work. So when she says nobody can, it's almost like she's giving a way out for Tom to accept her back in. Because if she would stay at I can't give you this, then she's giving Tom clear opportunity for him to say, then this is not happening. But when she adds nobody can, she's seeding, or she's planting a seed into Tom's head that this expectation you have is unrealistic. And that's a lie. The truth is that, yes, you do decide to be committed or not committed. You do decide to deal with the messiness of relationship, or you decide not to. So to me, this reads control from her side. This to me reads that she is playing into, not maybe intentionally, but in some manipulative tactics to still get what she wants, which is this romantic feeling desired, feeling loved, but at the same time, keep her own independence, keep her own avoidance. And I personally don't think that's fair. I think that's bullshit. Tom, on the other hand, is reading this as, oh my God, look, she even walked in pouring rain and she came here and she apologized and she wants to be back with me. So in a way, for him, this could be just another romantic gesture, another part of their love story when she's struggling with these feelings, but he's so special and so good that she's even willing to come to him in this manner. Because if she wouldn't love Tom, then she wouldn't do this, then she just wouldn't care. But that's where people get us, or that's where we F ourselves, because someone can love you and still not give you what you need, and still make you feel like you are inferior, and still put you in a position that you keep trying to prove yourself. That can very much exist. So let's not see black and white, and based on that, it's yes or it's a no, because it's never going to happen that way. There are going to be gray areas where the reality is actually going to happen. And that's where you need to spot, is this good for me or not good for me? Now, if we apply the attachment style to this and we say that Summer is avoidant and Tom is anxious, we can see how this is crossing the lines when it goes into toxic behavior. So Tom's anxiousness in this moment, or how he treated Summer and how he demanded that they are in a relationship, and then also later pulled back, shows how he's fighting more and more to get clarity, even pushing Summer and neglecting her autonomy just so he can get reassurance. On Summer's side, she is avoiding actual conversation, actual confrontation, but she does stay or reappear, comes back and apologize enough for Tom to not really leave her. And why does it work? Well, it works because Summer can continue to enjoy the romantic relationship and the validation she gets from Tom being into her, while on the other hand, Tom can preserve his fantasy that he is the one who is gonna fix Summer.
I like you.
Now, in the morning, they actually start talking about relationships. And we get a bit more insight to who Summer is, or what is actual her experience. And here's the thing. She had a couple of relationships that kind of, let's say, meant something or lasted for some time. And it was the hot guy from college.
He was very hot. For a brief time in college, there was Charlie. She was nice, but... And then there was my semester in Siena, Fernando Bellardelli.
Yeah, that's Summer's experience. Now, I don't want to be judgmental, but Biz, we both know that often I am. There is this sense of these relationships being short things when they... like very sporadic, like in college, the hot guy, a girl in university, and then the guy abroad, that by default were relationships who were fleeing, how do you say? Who were not really, or at least Summer doesn't express them as something that was committing and lasting and so on, almost showing her immature views of relationship, and that this was since forever. She calls a relationship something that she never even invested in. It never progressed into anything, and things just ended because life came.
What happened? Why didn't they work out?
What always happens? Life.
Well, if you were abroad with a person and you call that a relationship, I don't know. Was it really a relationship, or was it just fun times? And because it lasted more than 1 week, you call it a relationship. Like, I don't know why, but there is this sense of this all feels a little not serious or committed. So, clearly a pattern when it comes to Summer. Now, it's been a month since the big fight, right? And coming back together. And things are not going well. We see Summer and Tom spending time together. They are back in IKEA. And while Tom is trying to, have the same attitude as he had before, Summer is not having it.
Man, all of our sinks are broken.
Like, it's clear that she's kind of, over it. She doesn't feel the same way. And just a week later, well, Biz, it happened again.
It's Amanda Heller all over again.
She broke up with him. His friends and sister are trying to understand what exactly happened. But Tom is clueless, because 1 second they're eating pancakes and the next second she's like,
I think we should stop seeing each other. This thing, what are we doing? I mean, is this normal?
No, I don't know. I don't care. I'm happy. Aren't you happy?
You're happy?
You're not?
All we do is argue.
That is bullshit.
But Summer feels like they're basically like Sid and Nancy.
Sid stabbed Nancy 7 times in the kitchen. I mean, we have some disagreements, but I hardly think I'm Sid Vicious.
No, I'm Sid.
Oh, so I'm Nancy.
Maybe Summer feels that she's the one who's hurting Tom. Now, what I find quite interesting is that this exact conversation, right? At least exact question, was actually made by Tom also, right? He was also at one point asking her, what are they doing? But the difference was that in Tom's case, when Summer said that she's happy and asked him if he's happy and if that's not enough, Tom was good with that. Yeah, as long as you're happy, even though I might not feel the happiest, I feel anxious about not really knowing what we are, I'm good, right? Showing that Tom's underlying belief is as long as you are happy, it means that you found the one, so it is okay. But when Summer asked the same questions, what are they doing? And Tom is the one saying, I'm happy, aren't you happy? For Summer, that's not enough. Because Summer, not only that's not enough, Summer doesn't feel that. It's not enough that Tom's happy because she's the one who wants to be happy. She's the one who does not want to feel like they're fighting all the time, that this is basically doomed because at the end of the day, they're not really compatible. And she's not gonna deal with it, right? She breaks off with him, showing again that Tom is all about how can I feel better by pleasing this person? And as long as this person is happy, then I'm happy. While Summer is more like, no, I don't feel happy right now. And I'm not gonna just brush it off because you feel happy. I found that quite interesting and very telling of how they are approaching relationships. One is focusing on how can I reassure that I'm good enough for this person? And if this person is happy, then I'm happy. And the other one is like, no, it's about me. If I don't feel happy, then this is not going anywhere.
Tom, don't go. You're still my best friend.
Jesus.
Now, despite this being tragic, his friends are trying to be supportive. There are others, okay? It's not the first time he feels this way, and he will find the true love when she appears again, I guess. But Tom is not so convinced because Tom already knows who is the one.
I don't want to get over her. I want to get it back.
He actually sends her an email, but in the meantime, he is going through it. He is depressed. Everything is just sad and gloomy. And then finally, she responds.
Oh, is it?
So great to hear from you. I can't this week, but maybe next. I hope this means you're ready to be friends.
And just like that, Tom got his answer. She still wants to be friends. That's not what he wants. So he doesn't even reply and he just shuts it down and enters the recovery phase. And it has phases. First is the sadness. He goes to movies.
Il est brisé. Plus que brisé, il est seul.
Even his boss is like, Tommy, my man, maybe we need to reevaluate which department you should be working.
Funerals and sympathy.
Misery, sadness, loss of faith, no reason to live. This is perfect for you.
The thing is that this is quite normal. I think that when you break up with someone who you thought everything is going well, and even if you were blinding yourself that it is going well, there's this sense of, nothing makes sense anymore. Like, you're just depressed, you're barely going out, you probably just binge watch TV, eat junk food, and that's basically it. And that also shows in some way, on some level, and especially for Tom, that he ties a lot of meaning of his life to having this magical romantic partner. And if this partner is not there, then everything is in vain. Breaking up with someone is not you losing something. I mean, of course you lose something, you need that period of grieving, I guess. But at the same time, you are letting go things that are not suitable for you. And you're opening ways to actually find someone who you can be with. It might sting a little bit, but it's you opening your path to the right things. And after a month of this depressed, sad feeling, Tom has finally accepted.
I hate Summer.
He's entering the angry stage. He hates her hair. He hates the way she smiles. He hates the way she smacks her lips.
I hate her cockroach-shaped splotch on her neck.
It makes him sick. 3 weeks later, Tom is back in the game, people. Oh, Tom is on a blind date. And it seems that things are going well. And as they're walking down the street, Tom stops. He turns to his date, who is trying to have some talk, right? Getting to know each other. And he's like,
Listen, it's great to meet you, and you're a very attractive girl. I just wanted to say up front that it's not gonna go anywhere.
okay, I'm recovering from someone else and it's not gonna happen. And he admits he is messed up because on one hand, he does want to forget her and move on, but on the other hand, he actually doesn't.
I know that she's the only person in the entire universe that will make me happy.
Now, establishing that this is not going to continue anywhere, they still kind of continue hanging out and they go to a bar. And Tom is telling everything about this perfect ex-girlfriend. And he's also kind of confessing or sharing with her that he's trying to figure out were there any red flags that he missed. And basically, he came to a conclusion. There are only two possibilities. Or she is an emotionless, evil human being, or she's a robot. His date is a little bit confused. She's like, wait, let me recap. Let me make sure that I understood this well.
She never cheated on you.
No, never.
She ever take advantage of you in any way?
No.
And she told you up front that she didn't want a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Now this flies over Tom's head. This is not something he wants to hear, okay? He is totally oblivious to what this mouth are talking in front of him, and he has a great idea. They should go to karaoke. Now, clearly, Tom was confronted with the very reality of how he didn't want to actually accept what Summer was offering him, and she was very clear about it. And he rather stays in his victim mentality, right? He has been hurt by love, and he was perfect to this girl, and he really loved her, and she was the only one, and this was supposed to be all magical, but of course, she had to go and ruin it all. He doesn't want to accept his share of responsibility, which is, yeah, I didn't really want to hear her. I didn't really want to believe what she's saying because I wanted my fairy tale to come true, okay? I wanted my fantasy to be fulfilled. And in a way, it is showing how sometimes our biggest heartbreaks actually don't come because other people deceived us, but they come because we realize that we deceived ourselves. We kept on deceiving ourselves in a pursuit of something that we desperately wanted to happen. He has to dismiss that Summer never cheated, Summer never took advantage of him, Summer was never lying to him, because if he accepts that that is true, then, there is a possibility that he might also not be the best person in this, and he cannot be the victim. One might say that Tom is stuck in a cycle of ignoring red flags. His own. The second someone points out that maybe Summer is not that guilty, he's out. He's like, la, 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 la. And at this karaoke, he is pouring his heart out and singing about how awful and miserable love is and whatever he's doing. But basically, this girl, this blind date is like, I'm out of here. And Tom is even pissed at her.
Waste of time, you don't look anything like Summer.
But things are going forward, okay? He is getting a little bit out of that slump. And he's actually going to a wedding of one of his colleagues. Now, he's been played because his friend is not going, so Tom is actually stuck alone on this train to go to this wedding. But as much as Tom thinks he's alone, Summer is sitting also there. Now, he tries to pass her, pretend that he didn't see her, and we can see that he's still very much struggling with actually facing her. But Summer wants to say hi to him. I mean, they had something together, and yes, things didn't work out, but that doesn't mean that she's gonna ignore him. She actually asked him to have a coffee together and a little chat. And Tom is a bit hesitant. He does not want to spend time with Summer. It's clear that he hates that she even came to say hi to him. But then it seems that there's a part of him who's also like, okay, let me not be a dick, I guess.
Well, I don't want to bother you.
No, yeah, let's get coffee.
They share this ride together, and they also spend majority of time together at the wedding. Now, at this point, it has been 3 months since they've broken up. And we do see that they are kind of enjoying their time together. Lurking underneath it all is danger. Because we already see how Tom is looking at Summer with that look in his eyes, with that hope, that possibility, what if? Especially when she's the one who catches the bouquet. Interesting, Summer is actually standing there to catch a bouquet. At the end of the wedding, she actually invites him to join at a Friday party she is doing at her place. And Tom is gonna come. You see, for Tom, this might be a new opportunity. For Tom, this might be that reunion again. And he knows exactly how things are gonna go down. He's gonna go to her apartment. He's gonna, knock on the door. She's gonna be so happy she sees him. She's gonna give him a little kiss. He is gonna give her a perfect, funny gift that the two of them get, and she's gonna be so touched and pleased with it. The whole time they're gonna spend together talking. There will be like two peas in a pod, right? No one else exists, just the two of them. And by the end of the night, maybe they will just remember how good they are together and kiss and get back together. But that's not how it actually goes down. You see, sure, Summer greets him, she gives him a hug, she's happy about the gift, but this is her party and she's spending time with her friends while Tom doesn't really have anyone else to spend time with. All in all, it's clear that she kind of doesn't care that Tom is there or not there. Like, she just invited him as a friend, but she's mingling in her own way. And despite Tom's fantasy of the two of them maybe rekindling their love at this party, it seems that Summer has another love already in her cards. It seems that Summer is engaged. Tom can't believe it, so he runs out of the party. Everything just falls onto him, the burden of everything, crushed hope again, and the reality of that, what? So she does want commitment, it's just that I was not the right person, I actually wasn't good enough, the fear he had all along. And honestly, people, this was kind of a mixed moment, but with the music and the scene, watching it for the second time, it did make me feel a little bit like emotional. I don't know what is it with the music, or also, right, the scene that he saw that she is with someone else. Like, I had to skip forward because I was like, I am not about to cry right now. Okay, I need to analyze. But let's go a step back. Let's talk about the wedding. Is it okay that they were all chitty-chatty and friendly when they just broken up? It didn't went well. It's been only 3 months and Tom is just starting to kind of get over Summer. Was it okay that Tom accepted to take a coffee together? Was it okay that he spent the whole time with her? That is very hard to be a judge of, because we are still humans and there is this sense, at least if you're not, if you don't have certain issues, that you're kind to people and you don't want to just, ditch and dismiss and so on. Though, if possible, the best thing is to distance yourself from that person for some time. Give yourself the space and the time to actually recover, to actually understand what happened, to actually move forward. Now, unfortunately, that's not what happened with Tom. He was basically forced into mingling with Summer again. But at the same time, he also fell back into his own beliefs. You see, for him, this was all another chance. Everything felt romantic, everything felt fun, everything felt effortless, and how it was at the beginning. And because he was quite fragile, not even understanding what went wrong, it was easy for him to get that hope again, to think that, oh my God, we are back on. But the reality is that this is a wedding. By default, romantic vibes. They are the only two people who probably know each other. They're ex-colleagues of the person who's getting married. And it's not like, oh, they just came together. It's more like situationship or situational, right? And it's not like they don't like each other or they don't have a certain chemistry or certain things in common. It's just that not everything was clicking the way it should, right? Now, Summer inviting Tom to this party, that could have been a little bit step too much. But we could say that Summer is kind of oblivious to how real relationships work, or let's say not real relationships, but when someone really falls in love and what does it mean for them, we know that she is the type of person that she can easily detach, and even when she loves something, she can just cut it out.
Since the disintegration of her parents' marriage, she'd only loved two things. The first was her long dark hair. The second was how easily she could cut it off and feel nothing.
So maybe she has that same view. She's clueless about the fact that maybe Tom is going through this a little bit differently. And on the other hand, Tom also, it's not so abnormal that he maybe wants closure, or he maybe reads this as a spark. Like I said, he is in a vulnerable place right now. But when everything turns dark for the viewers and Tom is when we see the engagement ring. Or a ring. Here's the thing. This is Tom's perspective, right? And he sees Summer showing her ring to someone. Is it on the left hand? Yes. Is it on the ring finger? Yes. Could it be a ring that she bought to herself in commitment to herself? Could it be something that she just likes having? Or is it possible that she, in a span of 3 months, totally changed her beliefs, her mind, and she was playing Tom all along? The fact is that we do not really know, right? Now, maybe I'm being delusional, maybe I'm trying to kind of see things differently. But I also take in consideration the reality of it all, what we learned about Summer, what we learned about Tom, how he sees things. And in a way, there is a possibility that this was nothing than just a ring, but Tom read it as though she is now engaged to someone else, because that's how Tom sees things. Grand things, a grand gesture or a grand disaster. And he doesn't even give it time to actually understand what is happening. But on the other hand, you can also understand if he sees it like that, the last thing he wants to do is be there and ask her about it. Maybe that's his coping. He just goes out and he accepts that the whole thing with Summer and what she told him was a freaking lie. Now, let's say that Summer did actually get engaged. And if we even take it to maybe more reality world, did you not experience or see someone, if you are not the one in the equation, let's say, where you break up with someone because they don't want to commit, and suddenly you see them totally committed with another person, maybe even a baby in the way, or actually a wedding on the way. And you're like, mother effer. Clearly, there is always the possibility that someone meets the right person and things actually change for them, okay? That can happen because when they tell you they don't want a commitment, there is also a very high possibility that they just do not want it with you. But they also like your attention, so they kind of play the double game, let's say. Now, if I'm being very honest with how I see things, and again, this is driven by my own perspectives and beliefs, if you get with someone in a span of 3-4 months and your total vibe changes how you are treating this person, I find it very hard to believe that you are entering also this other relationship in a healthy manner. I find it very hard to believe that you actually have your shit together and all the past was just you playing people and now you met this perfect person and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I think that we are, complex beings. And when your actions totally flip in a span of just a couple of months, I would like to understand what actually made that flip. Were you going through a therapy? Are you just very advanced in figuring yourself out and figuring out how to treat people better and how to believe in love? Or was it really just this one person and everything changed? I don't know. What do you think? But despite that, that's on them. That's their side, right? There is still your truth if you're the one who sees a person moving on so fast and doing things that they say they would never do with you, right? Your truth is that you did caught up in something that you didn't actually want, that you were hoping that things would change, that you were believing this person and pleasing this person and neglecting your needs. And at the end of the day, that's the thing that you need to accept and work on. Why did I allow myself to get caught up in this situation when I knew from the get-go that I actually wanted something else? That's how we can try to benefit from this whole situation. What was my role in it? What are my beliefs that are driving these decisions? And how can I show up for myself better next time? Okay? Tom clearly feels betrayed and humiliated, and his fantasy crumbles even more, or the new fantasy that he created, right? The hope of the two of them coming back together. And as I mentioned, the real pain is the thing that he was constantly trying to prove himself, that he is good enough. So if Summer is now with someone else and actually committing with someone else, it means that he is not good enough. And that's what usually happens when you are entering a relationship from the get-go of proving how good you are, because you already put this person on a pedestal. And especially when you tie your value to if this person accepts you or doesn't accept you. Days are passing and Tom is drowning in how life just sucks. It's another meeting, another bullshit discussions about how to give people hope when that is the whole problem.
This is lies. We're liars.
The movies, the songs, the cards, giving them false hope, giving them this fantasy and story of love.
It's these cards. And the movies and the pop songs, they're to blame for all the lies. And the heartache, everything. And we're responsible. I'm responsible.
Things will not get better. This is all bullshit. And you know what? You know what? Tom is done. Tom is done contributing to the fall of the world and to blind people and to hurt people.
I quit. There's enough bullshit in the world without my help.
So again, it's his core. Now, love is the problem, right? Love is the one that it's bullshit and this and that and things do not pan out like that. And it's not the fact that he applied what is in the movies in his real life. That he decided that this perception of love that is shown through songs and through movies is the one that he's also going to follow. He blames love because how can he accept that it's not love who betrayed him, but he betrayed himself when he was investing in something that was an illusion from the get-go. When he didn't really want to accept that this person wasn't in it the way he thought she is or the way he wanted her to be. And the reality is that we've all been there. We've all at one point blamed the movies for showing us certain things that are so unrealistic. And yes, that sucks because they do impact our beliefs, they do impact our perspectives and views. And it's almost like, I'm reading this book of how media became almost like the truth. Right? Whatever you see, and today even like social apps and so on, if you see a news, that's by default a truth unless someone debunks it, right? So also when we're watching movies and TVs, that's almost how we learn things, especially when you don't have experience. And usually in the case of Tom, his beliefs were formed when he was younger. So it's not like they don't have any impact on us. They do. The problem is that at one point we also need to kind of accept the fact that we also are forcing the fantasies of the TV into our own realities rather than focusing on our own reality. His little sister tries to remind him or give him a little bit of an advice or wisdom that maybe he thought that everything was perfect, but if he would look back, he might find out that not everything was rainbows and sunshine. And Tom remembers. Tom remembers how Summer wasn't really happy. She wasn't really interested in him. She didn't even listen to his mixtape.
I've never heard of them.
I put them on that mix I made you. They're track 1.
She didn't find him funny. She was kind of avoiding him. She didn't want to hold his hands. And even when they went to watch The Graduate, his fantasy movie, and the movie that was all about the romantic gesture and love conquering all, Summer was bawling her eyes out. And how he didn't recognize that they did not see things the same. Now, one of you, in my last video, actually asked or is hoping that I'm going to talk about Summer's reaction to this The Graduate movie. And I'm going to deliver. I don't know if I'm going to deliver well, because here's the thing. I've never watched The Graduate, and it is on my list now. It will probably also be an evaluation, because from what I understand, it is quite interesting. But I did try to get what's the main point and what's the main scope. So The Graduate is a movie about a guy and a woman. They go through some challenges, but at the end of the day, this woman is to marry someone else. And this guy makes this grand gesture of coming to the wedding, stopping it, and they kind of run away, right? The true love conquers all. He made this grand gesture and now everything will be okay. But when they are sitting in their car, their escape car, there is a moment, a close-up of their faces where we see doubt, confusion, and almost reality hitting that, well, now what? Is this excitement that we felt in eloping away and, following our love really the right decision? So if we take this as a point of reference in how Tom and Summer see love or experience this movie and what the movie's message is, clearly we see that Tom took this movie and focused only on the love gesture, the romantic thing, that the true love at the end of the day fixed it all. The guy came, he stopped the wedding, he took his true love, and now they will live happily ever after. The last part, the doubt on their faces, Tom did not see it. He was just seeing the love story. While Summer saw the doubt at the end. While Summer was basically seeing the movie for what it was. Love is not everything. Love will not conquer all. And despite doing crazy things out of fun, out of love, that doesn't mean that things will just actually work out. That doesn't mean that we actually know what we want and we are just confused doing stupid shit. The fact that she starts bawling her eyes out hints at her struggles with love doesn't exist. Because if she would actually believe that, if she would actually not have any desire for real connection and real partnership, then she would look at this movie and she would be like, exactly, that's exactly what I'm saying. At least that's how I'm seeing it. But the fact that it actually touched her.
What is it, the movie?
It's nothing. I'm just being stupid.
It could mean two things. It could mean that she hates that this is the reality. On some level, she really wants it, and she hates that it's not going to happen, that is the reality. Or she is recognizing that in the same way as these two people were kind of, in the frenzy of it all, making these decisions, that she's actually doing it to herself also. That she's going into something that she doesn't really feel like it's the right thing. She gets caught up in situations that are not really good for her. And it's a reminder that, well, I also have a responsibility in this. I also have a responsibility in who am I pairing myself with and what are my beliefs and how am I approaching relationships. The fact that she, it seems like, is now almost in a relationship with Tom when she didn't want a relationship. The fact that she was hit with the messiness and the reality of the two of them not actually being compatible, and that she was also entering from her own wishful thinking and selfish desires, not recognizing that if she wants casual, she cannot have it with someone like Tom, and not putting a label on it or not committing does not by default mean that she's not gonna get hurt. She has to face the reality of her responsibility in all of this. Her responsibility of keep staying with Tom when she's actually not happy and just letting it happen. This was actually the same day when she broke up with Tom. After the movie, she felt very down and she even wanted to have some time alone, if I remember correctly. But Tom kind of dismissed it and they went to have pancakes. And when she was there, I guess watching this movie, being faced with all these realities, being faced with what she is doing with Tom, and this is all just stupid, she wanted to end it. She wanted to break this cycle of getting herself in situations that she does not actually want. What would free her is facing those very beliefs that prevent her from experiencing something that she, it seems like, actually craves. Love. It could actually be both things, right? Summer being validated by her views on love and that they turn messy and that love is not just these grand romantic gestures, but at the same time, she's also recognizing that she's not actually allowing herself to experience something that is true. She's actually betraying herself for not giving love a real chance and with the right person. So that's how I interpreted this whole situation. But again, I haven't really watched The Graduate, so maybe I'm missing something. But let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about Summer's reaction? Now, Tom is in his recovery from Summer, and he actually gets back to architecture. I guess this whole experience pushed him into taking care of himself better and pursuing his actual passion. Now, it's kind of challenging. It doesn't really seem like he has much success in getting hired, but he's not going to give up. Maybe on some level, seeing Summer moving forward and getting what he actually wanted, right? Love and marriage at the end, makes him want to pursue his passions even more, or his other dream even more, which, that's always a good thing. When things go to shit, at least get something out of it. We see him sitting at a bench. It's his favorite place, and he's looking at the city. But there's also Summer.
Hey, Tom. Thought I might see you here.
Tom is surprised. He smiles and he also congratulates her. She thanks him, and it's kind of crazy that she's married right now. Tom says that she should have told him, especially at the wedding. Like, she already knew at that point, and why did she even have a dance with him? But Summer replies that she wanted to. Why not?
You just do what you want, don't you? You never wanted to be anybody's girlfriend, and now you're somebody's wife.
It surprised me too.
I don't think I'll ever understand that.
It just happened.
Right, but that's what I don't understand. What just happened?
Well, she woke up one day and she just knew. And Tom is like, knew what?
What I was never sure of with you.
Tom is hurt, and obviously it's very difficult to accept that. But you know what hurts the most? What hurts the most that everything you ever believed in was all a lie. The whole thing. True love, romance, fairy tales.
You were right. I should have listened to you.
But Summer disagrees. She started to believe in love now. And Tom was responsible for that in a way. The thing is that Tom was the one who was right. Love does exist. He just wasn't right about her.
It just wasn't me that you were right about.
She holds his hand and she needs to go. But she's really happy to see him doing well.
Summer, I really do hope that you're happy.
Ah, biz. Now this is the pivotal moment. And there are theories. There are two theories in this situation, and I'm gonna, give my 2 cents on both of them. One theory is that this is real, right? That Summer actually went to Tom's favorite place so they can have this conversation. And the other theory is that this is all Tom's imagination. His way of getting closure and moving from Summer. If this is a reality, then it could confirm the theory that Summer always wanted love, but because of her experiences early on as a child, parents divorced, and how that affected her, she never really gave herself a chance to experience it. When she was with Tom, despite starting as this being casual, there is even a theory that she actually tried with Tom. She tried to have a real relationship, but fundamentally they weren't clicking. Again, Let's remember how she very much valued independency, and Tom was someone who was starting to act a bit possessive towards her. So when things went down with Tom, and when she realized that she's actually unhappy and getting into relationships just for fun is not going to fix how she feels about the whole situation, she let Tom go. And when she met the next person, she felt ready. She felt giving this a true chance. So at the end, the whole experience with Tom, as she told him, did serve her to believe in love again. The thing is that they just weren't the right people. And that's a very healthy approach to the situation. Now, I'm going to be honest. I believe in the second theory. First of all, because it's only been 4 months, and if she already got married with someone, then it's very difficult to believe that this is any mature, or married, engaged to someone, that this is actual mature and someone growing and understanding things type of thing. And also because if this is imaginary, I'm gonna be a little shitty, okay? It feeds right into the pattern of Tom's beliefs. Now, clearly, if this is imaginary, it is very good that Tom is almost kind of confronting Summer in his head, right? That this sucks, that how she said one thing and now she's, married with or getting married to someone else. And then kind of coming to the conclusion that she was just not the right person, that love still exists and he shouldn't give up on that. But he should also recognize that she wasn't the one. That's very, very good. That is a recovery. But on some level, it also feeds into Tom's victim mentality. And let me explain why. You see, Tom does not want to accept that his way of how he is approaching love is flawed. He does not want to accept that this fairy tale is not, the problem is not the fairy tale. The problem is that he doesn't really get to know a person, that he doesn't really want to get to know a person. For him, the fact that he was, how do you say, the reason why Summer started to believe in love means that, well, I was still right. And my beliefs are the right beliefs. He's again the hero. He's the hero in Summer's story. Yes, maybe I wasn't the person who was the right for her, but look, I was still right. Totally neglecting his part in this whole thing. Totally neglecting that, yes, Tom, you are right about love, but you are not right about how you are approaching love. You're not right about how you were idealizing Summer. You are not right about how you didn't actually accept her, listen to her. Okay? So, if he imagines Summer almost praising his views and he was right and love is the right thing, then he can in some way let go of that self-doubt that he was carrying this whole time. And he can say, no, she was the one who was messed up. She had things to figure out and, I'm good. If we say that he's entering relationships usually with this, I'm the hero and I'm the main character of this love story, because we know that this is not the first time, then it's almost like this getting over Summer is happening in the same way. He's the main hero of this story. He helped someone else believe in love. Obviously, despite this potentially being just self-feeding, feeding into his own beliefs again that should be challenged, it is a good way that he found a way how to move on without relying on having a real conversation with Summer. It was enough that he kind of was with himself. At the end of the day, it is good that he found a way out of this depression on his own terms. But what do you believe? Is it imaginary or is it real? And what about the ending? Do you think that Tom is entering a new season, new approach to life, or is he entering just another cycle?
My name's Tom.
Nice to meet you. I'm Autumn.
Whew, this was a long one. We came to an end of 500 Days of Summer. Let me know if it brought you any new insights, any new perspective, or you were like, Bis, I already knew all of this, but it was fine chatting and listening for you to come to these conclusions. And let me know in the comments below if there are any other movies you would like me to evaluate. Apart from my regular SATC, U, and also, you know what I'm thinking? Euphoria. I'm thinking about starting. I've never actually watched it. No, I didn't. So, should I? Should I? But above all, remember, trust your individuality.